So, have you heard about the big changes coming to YouTube? Hopefully, you have. Hopefully, if you're a YouTuber, you got an email saying there's some big changes coming. Well, in this video, that's exactly what we're going to talk about because you could actually get a fine for $42,000, up to $42,000 for every video on your channel that violates this. So that's what we're talking about. So let's jump into it. Hi, I'm Kevin Kolbe with Kevin Kolbe Media, and I'm all about sharing tips, tools, and strategies to help you make an impact in the world with video marketing. So I don't know if you heard recently, but YouTube lost a major lawsuit. The FTC fined them $170 million for violating COPPA. COPPA is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. And basically, they said they were collecting data for kids under 13. So this is a major deal. So by part of that is YouTube is putting these new guidelines in effect that will affect people like you and me who have channels or manages channels. So there's a lot going out there. This video is not about legal advice. This is about making sure you know what's at stake for your channel and what you need to do to be ready. So basically, here's what happened: that the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission, not only did they win $170 million, hope they put it to good use, but they're also requiring Google and YouTube. And remember that Google owns YouTube, that they've got to develop and come up with this plan that permits channel owners like you and me to identify their child-directed content. Now, here's what's going to happen. So, and again, I think this came out in an email, so hopefully you got this. But starting today, and today is when this came out in November, all creators, you and me, are required to mark content as made for kids or not made for kids. And then in January, they're going to start limiting some things. And by the way, if you wonder, well, how old is a kid? Well, the age of a kid in the United States is defined as anyone under 13. Now, obviously, YouTube is a worldwide platform. I mean, that's why I love that I can connect with people all over the world. I can watch videos from all over the world, sometimes not even in English. I don't understand it, but that's okay. But again, the FTC, I've seen people go, well, I'm in Canada. The FTC can't come after me. But it's based on where your channel is, and you need to really think about that. I'm not going to sit here and try and convince you not to do something. I want to make sure that you know what you should do, just like what I had to do for my channel, right? So let's get back into it. So if you set your channel as made for kids, starting in January, you're not going to have access to stories and community tab, notification bell, channel membership, and some other things. Now you have to have a certain amount of viewers for that anyway, or subscribers for that. So your channel may not hit all of those things, but the next one it will be. So if you set a video or a live stream as made for kids, again, and this is part of YouTube, what YouTube is having to do before losing that and violating COPPA, then these are features that you will not have access to anymore. Personal advertising, comments, that's a big deal. Channel branding, donate button, a lot of other things on there. So if you think about that, like there's a channel, it's a fabulous channel, Special Books for Special Kids, that deals all with special needs and disabilities and things like that. They had their commenting turned off quite a while ago. Now, personally, I think that is just insane, absolutely insane. But again, I know that they've gone through a lot of back and forth with YouTube trying to get that rectified. Hopefully, they will. But this is something very serious that you have to take serious. Did I say serious enough? So let's get back into it. So what I want to show you is when you go into your YouTube studio, on the left-hand side, there's a button called Channels. So you hit Channels, and this should pop up. Now, somebody the other day in one of the groups I'm in said, well, I don't have that feature. You do have that feature. So make sure that you go to your settings, and you'll find this. So you'll see when you get basically 4 options: General, Channel, Upload, Defaults, and Community. When you get there, this is the first time, you have to determine who your channel is for. Yes, you make stuff for kids. No, you don't. Or you want to review every video. Now, that's what I chose mine. I chose mine that no, my videos are not made for kids. My audience isn't intended for kids. So what I don't want you to do is look at this example and say, well, that's what I need to do. No, 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 no. That was mine. So once you do that, then your channel is set. But from that point on, every time you upload a video, this is what you have to do. Besides adding your tags and your thumbnail and all that, you will have these two questions. You have to determine, is your video made for kids or not? And do you want to restrict your video or not? And you have to choose that. It's not an option. So again, why is this a big deal? Because you could incur a penalty of $42,000 per video if you say, no, this is not intended for kids, but it really is, and the FTC fines you starting in January. I personally think, this is my take, in January they're going to start looking for people to make an example of. Now, I've heard people say, well, the FTC is a small group, they probably won't find my channel. This is all about collecting information. I mean, that's what FTC found YouTube guilty of, is that they were collecting this information for kids under 13. But you and I have the same issues too, right? So look, I know there are kids on YouTube under 13 that they've either lied or their parents have lied about it. That's a whole deeper issue. I love YouTube, but come on. But this is something that you and I as creators have to take care of. So I really, really hope that you look at your channel, you go in there, you think through this. You may say, hey, look, I don't really know. Well, then, look at each video. I know there's some creators out there saying if you're not sure, mark it as intended for kids. I know there's 2 or 3 videos on my channel I've really had to struggle with because it's not intended for kids. But there's other wording in there you need to look at. Even YouTube is saying, hey, look, we are not a law firm, so you need to make this decision as best for you. So if you've got any questions, I'd love to hear in the comments what you think about, not necessarily about the rule, but what are you going to do about your channel too? Because again, this is a big deal. I think it's one of the biggest deals they've ever had to face. So hope that helps you. Always hit me up if I can help you. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll talk next time. I'm Kevin. Have a great day.